All right, so today we're going to be looking at something a little bit different, and that is how to make people love and respect you. And I know that sounds kind of strange,
Right.
maybe even manipulative,
Yeah.
but we're going to be diving deep into this book, Reverse Psychology, 10 Techniques to be Loved and Respected.
Okay.
And it's all about flipping the script and using a little bit of reverse psychology. And guess what?
What's that?
It's sprinkled with a little Buddhist wisdom.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to get into that today. And
I love that.
yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
Where do we start?
Well, the first technique that they talk about in the book is called the fear of loss.
Okay.
And this is all about, that kind of feeling you get
Mhm.
when you think you might lose something or
Right.
you can't have something, you want it even more.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
it suddenly becomes more valuable.
Right. Like, have you ever noticed that?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
when someone's not, like, constantly available or...
Right. Or they're really independent
Yes.
and they're not like clinging to you.
Exactly.
They're a little more intrigued.
I want to get to know this person.
Yeah. And that's kind of what this technique is getting at.
Okay. Interesting.
And I think it ties in really well with the Buddhist idea of impermanence.
Oh, how so?
Well, Buddhism teaches that nothing lasts forever.
Right.
So when you apply that to relationships, it
Yeah.
means
Mm.
that you have to be okay with the fact that
Yeah.
people might come and go in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of clinging on,
Yeah.
you just appreciate the time that you have.
Exactly. And allow that space
Yes.
for that ebb and flow.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like instead of coming from that place of neediness,
Right.
you're coming from this place of like, I'm good either way.
Like abundance. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
abundance.
Yeah.
So the book talks about like imagining your life as this thriving ecosystem.
I like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's complete in itself.
But it's also welcoming
Yeah.
to those who can enhance its beauty even more.
That's beautiful.
So it's not about like
Right.
pushing people away.
Yeah.
It's just about,
It's about that inner confidence.
yes. And I think that confidence
Yeah.
is what really draws people in.
Exactly. Because it shows that you're not
Yeah.
needing their validation.
You're not seeking it.
You're not seeking it because you already have that self-worth.
Right.
You're complete within yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay. So that was the fear of loss.
Okay,
Are you ready for number 2?
hit me with it.
All right. This one is called the value of scarcity.
Ooh, sounds interesting.
I know it sounds a little bit like I'm going to make myself scarce.
Yeah, play hard to get kind of thing.
Right, but it's not really about that. It's more about understanding that your time and energy are valuable.
Right, like precious resources.
Yes, and you shouldn't just be like throwing them around.
Right, I like that. Yeah.
Like, have you ever noticed like when you're really busy and you're like super productive,
Yeah.
suddenly everybody wants a piece of you?
Oh, totally. It's like you become this
Right.
magnet for attention.
And that's kind of what this technique is getting at.
Okay, so it's like that perceived value goes up
Yes, exactly.
when you're not so readily available.
And I think this ties into Buddhist mindfulness too.
Okay, I can see that.
Because when you're really mindful,
Mhm.
you're present,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
focused,
Focused on what matters. Yeah,
and you make conscious choices about how you spend your time.
exactly. And that can kind of rub off on other people too.
Yes.
It inspires them to
Value your time.
value your time. Yeah.
So instead of being like instantly available,
Mm-hmm.
like answering every text message
Right.
or email
Right.
away,
Yeah.
you're more deliberate.
You're more intentional.
Yes.
Yeah,
And you're protecting your time.
I like it.
It's not about playing games. It's about valuing yourself
Exactly.
and your well-being.
And it's attractive.
It is.
You know.
Yeah, because it shows you have a life outside of just like catering to other people.
You're not at their beck and call.
Yeah.
You're not just waiting around for them to
Exactly.
give you attention.
It's like reclaiming your power in a way.
Yes. I love that.
Okay, so that was the value of scarcity.
Okay, what's next?
Okay, technique number 3.
All right.
This one's called the allure of mystery.
Ooh. I like that.
I know, right?
That sounds good.
It sounds very mysterious.
Spill the tea.
Okay, so think about this.
Okay.
Have you ever been on a date
Mm-hmm.
with someone who just like tells you their entire life story
Okay.
in the first like 5 minutes?
That's like sick.
It's like, whoa, too much information.
Yeah. Where's the mystery?
Right, exactly. And that's kind of what this technique is about.
Okay.
It's about revealing yourself gradually,
Mm-hmm.
like peeling back the layers of an onion.
Oh, I like that analogy.
So you don't want to give it all away at once.
Right.
You want to keep people guessing a little bit.
Keep them intrigued.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this actually aligns with Buddhist teachings as well.
Really? So?
Well, Buddhism teaches that wisdom is uncovered, layer by layer, through practice and reflection.
Right.
So it's not like you just download all this knowledge at once.
It's a process.
It's a process.
Yeah.
And so when you apply that to relationships, it means that you can allow a sense of mystery to draw people in.
Instead of putting it all out there on the table right away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So instead of oversharing on social media or always feeling the need to explain yourself, you can be a little more enigmatic.
A little more mysterious.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let people wonder a little bit.
I love that.
And the book actually uses this analogy of like a deep lake. It's calm on the surface, but you don't know what lies beneath.
What depths are there?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's about creating that.
Intrigue.
Yes.
Yeah.
So people want to dive deeper and get to know you.
It makes sense.
Okay, so that was the allure of mystery.
Very cool.
Technique number 4 is called the power of investment.
Okay, so what is that all about?
This one's all about the fact that people value things more when they put effort into them.
Right, makes sense.
Right, like if you build something yourself, you're going to be more proud of it.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Than if you just bought it.
Yeah, like a DIY project.
Exactly.
Like, oh, I made that.
Yeah.
It's a little wonky, but...
Exactly.
Too.
And this actually aligns with the Buddhist path to enlightenment.
Okay, how so?
Well, Buddhism teaches that enlightenment is not something that you just achieve passively.
Right.
It's something that you have to work towards.
Yeah, you have to put in the effort.
You have to put in the effort, the practice.
Yeah.
The dedication.
The dedication, exactly.
And then the rewards come.
So how does this apply to relationships then?
So in relationships, it means that instead of always taking the lead or doing things for people, you invite them to participate.
Okay.
You encourage them to contribute their ideas, their energy.
Like a collaborative effort.
Exactly. So instead of always like planning the dates, you could say, hey, let's brainstorm this together.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
What do you want to do?
More engaging.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or instead of just like listening to them vent, you ask more probing questions to really engage in the conversation.
So it's not one-sided.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about creating a sense of shared ownership.
Shared responsibility. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's when you really start to build a strong foundation.
A strong foundation for a relationship.
For love and respect.
Exactly. Yeah. I love that.
Okay, so that was the power of investment.
Very cool.
What do you think so far?
I am loving it.
Yeah.
This is like a crash course
I know, right?
in relationship.
It's blowing my mind a little bit.
Me too.
Because it's making me rethink a lot of my old patterns.
It's about shifting that perspective.
Yes.
And understanding that a little bit of push and pull can actually be a good thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you ready for number 5?
Bring it on.
I'm ready. All right, this one is called self-care as a foundation.
Okay. Self-care.
Self-care.
But we're talking about attracting other people.
I know, it seems a little counterintuitive.
Yeah, how does that fit in?
But the idea is that you can't pour from an empty cup.
Oh, that's good.
Right.
I like that.
You can't give to others if you're completely depleted yourself.
Yeah, if you're running on fumes,
yes,
you're not going to be able to show up.
Exactly. And I think this aligns really well with the Buddhist principle of compassion.
Okay, tell me more.
Well, Buddhism teaches that true compassion starts with self-compassion. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Right. You can't genuinely care for others if you're not taking care of yourself.
Yeah. You have to fill your own cup first.
Exactly.
Right.
So it's about prioritizing your own needs and making sure that you're taking care of yourself.
Physically, emotionally, mentally.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's not selfish.
Right.
It's essential.
It's essential.
Because it's the foundation for healthy relationships.
So everything, really.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's about setting boundaries.
Boundaries are so important.
Yes.
Yeah.
Saying no to things that drain you.
Yeah.
And prioritizing the things that nourish you.
The things that light you up.
Yes. And it's not just about like bubble baths and face masks.
Right.
It's about like really recognizing your worth. And showing up for yourself.
Showing up for yourself, yeah.
And I think when you do that,
Yeah.
you set a precedent for how other people treat you.
You're basically saying, this is how I expect to be treated.
This is how I value myself. So you should value me too.
It shifts the dynamic.
It does.
Yep.
And it's attractive.
It is, because you're coming from this place of
Right.
strength and self-respect.
Yes. Not neediness.
Not neediness, exactly.
It's like you're whole. and complete on your own.
You're radiating wholeness.
Yes, and that makes you magnetic.
I love it.
I'm telling you, this is like a whole new way of looking at things.
I know, it's fascinating.
I'm so glad we're doing this deep dive.
Me too.
All right, are you ready for number 6?
I'm ready. Bring it on.
Okay, this one is called the magnetism of independence.
Oh, okay.
And it's all about maintaining your own passions and pursuits.
So not losing yourself in a relationship.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's about being your own person
Right.
and having your own interests.
Yeah.
And not making one person your entire world.
Yeah, because what happens if that person leaves?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then you're left with nothing.
Yeah, it's about having your own foundation.
Yes, and this ties into the Buddhist idea of non-attachment.
Okay, how so?
Well, non-attachment doesn't mean that you don't care about people.
Right.
It means that you don't cling to them out of a sense of need or insecurity.
It's about finding that balance.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in relationships, it means that you can love someone deeply,
Yeah.
but you're not dependent on them.
You're not making them responsible for your happiness.
Exactly. And that's really attractive.
It is.
Because it shows that you're confident and you're self-sufficient.
You're not looking for someone to fix you.
Exactly.
You're looking for someone to share your life with.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're not a project.
You're not a project, exactly.
And I think that's really important.
Yeah, I agree.
Because a lot of times we get into relationships
Yeah.
with this idea that we need someone to complete us.
Right. To fill a void.
Yes. But the truth is that we have to be complete within ourselves.
Right, to be whole.
Yes, and then we can share
Yeah.
our wholeness.
Our wholeness in our lives with someone else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so that was the magnetism of independence.
Okay. I like that.
What do you think?
It's all making sense.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying this conversation.
Me too.
This is great.
All right, well, we're making our way through these techniques.
Okay.
Should we take a little break?
Yeah, let's take a break and come back. So we left off talking about being independent and how important that is.
Right, like not losing yourself in a relationship.
Exactly. And, you know, that actually ties in really well with the next technique.
Okay, what is it?
It's called reciprocity in initiation.
Reciprocity in initiation.
Reciprocity in initiation. What does that even mean?
It's basically about challenging that idea that we should always be the ones pursuing or reaching out first.
Oh, so like instead of always being the one to text first or plan the dates, I should just wait for them to make a move.
Well, it's not quite that simple.
Okay.
It's not about playing games or anything like that.
It's more about creating space for a more balanced dynamic to emerge.
Okay, I'm listening. I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So think about it this way. In Buddhism, there's this concept of balance.
Right.
The balance of giving and receiving. And in a healthy relationship, you want there to be a natural flow of energy and attention from both sides.
Makes sense.
So if you're always the one initiating,
Right.
it might create an imbalance
Oh, I see.
where the other person feels less inclined to put in the effort.
Yeah, I've definitely been there.
And they might even start taking you for granted.
Ouch. Yeah, nobody wants that.
So by stepping back a little, you're giving them the opportunity
Okay.
to show you how much they value your presence.
So it's like putting the ball in their court a little bit.
Exactly, and seeing how they play it.
Okay, so how do I know if I should step back or not? Like, what are the signs?
Well, you want to pay attention to how much effort they're putting in.
Okay.
Are they initiating contact as well? Are they planning dates?
Yeah.
Are they asking you questions about your life?
So basically, are they showing that they're actually interested?
Exactly, because you deserve to be with someone who's excited to be with you.
That makes total sense.
And sometimes, you know, stepping back can actually rekindle the spark.
Oh, really? How so?
Well, when you're not constantly available,
Right.
it creates a sense of longing and anticipation.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it gives them a chance to miss you
Yeah.
and realize how much they appreciate you.
Okay, so this isn't about playing games.
No, not at all.
It's about creating a healthy dynamic
Exactly.
where both people feel empowered to pursue connection.
And it can be really insightful too.
How so?
It allows you to observe their level of investment
Oh,
and determine if they're really meeting you halfway.
I like that.
So it's less about manipulating the situation and more about gaining clarity.
Yeah. I can see how that would be helpful.
And you know, this technique actually leads beautifully into our next one.
Okay. I'm ready. Tell me what's next.
It's all about cultivating happiness from within.
Ooh, that sounds good.
I know, right?
I'm all about happiness.
Me too. But you know what's interesting about this
What's that?
is that it ties into reverse psychology.
Okay, I'm not seeing the connection yet. How does my happiness make someone love and respect me?
Well, the book emphasizes that your happiness shouldn't depend on external factors,
Oh, okay.
like other people's actions or approval. It's about cultivating a sense of inner peace and contentment.
That radiates outward.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's not about waiting for someone to make me happy.
Right.
It's about creating my own happiness.
Exactly. And you know what? This aligns perfectly
Right.
with the Buddhist teaching,
Okay.
that true happiness arises from within.
I love that.
It's not from circumstances.
So even if, like, my date cancels on me or my boss yells at me,
Right.
I can still choose to be happy.
Exactly. It's about cultivating that sense of inner peace that isn't dependent on the ups and downs of life.
That's easier said than done, though, right?
Well, it takes practice,
Okay.
but it's so worth it.
So how do I actually do that? Like, where do I start?
Well, start by focusing on the things that bring you joy.
Okay.
Whether it's spending time in nature, reading a good book,
Yeah.
or connecting with loved ones.
Okay, those are all good things.
And practice gratitude
Gratitude.
for all the good in your life.
Okay.
Even the small things.
Yeah.
And cultivate a sense of presence
Presence.
and mindfulness.
Mindfulness. Okay.
Savoring each moment as it unfolds.
Okay, so it's about really being present in the moment.
Exactly. And appreciating the little things.
I can see how that would make me feel more grounded.
And you know what?
What's that?
When you're able to generate your own happiness, it becomes a magnet.
A magnet? How so?
Well, people are naturally drawn
Do
to those who radiate joy and positivity.
makes sense. People want to be around people who are happy.
Exactly. It's contagious.
I like that it's like you're bringing your own sunshine.
Yeah, you're bringing your own sunshine.
Instead of expecting someone else to light you up.
Exactly. And that kind of self-assuredness is incredibly attractive.
Okay. Because
It creates a sense of ease and security in relationships
I see.
because you're not putting the pressure on the other person to be your sole source of happiness.
Right, like they don't have to fix me.
Exactly. You're already happy.
I love this technique.
Me too. It's a game changer.
It really is, and it makes me realize
What's that?
that happiness isn't something that just happens to you.
Right.
It's something that you create.
It's a choice.
It's a choice.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was finding happiness from within.
Are you ready for the next one?
Hit me with it.
This one might sound a little tough at first.
Okay. I'm a little scared now.
But it's ultimately incredibly empowering.
All right, lay it on me.
It's called the strength to walk away.
Strength to walk away. Does that mean I should just like walk away from any relationship at the first sign of trouble?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
It's not about being impulsive or giving up easily.
Okay.
But it is about recognizing when a relationship is no longer serving you
Oh, and
and having the courage to let it go.
this reminds me of that Buddhist concept of impermanence.
Yes, exactly.
Like understanding that nothing lasts forever.
Right. And that applies to relationships too.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, despite our best efforts,
Yeah.
relationships reach a point
Okay.
where they're no longer healthy or fulfilling.
So it's about recognizing those signs, like maybe lack of respect,
Right.
constant conflict,
Yeah.
feeling drained and unappreciated.
Exactly. And it's about having the strength to
Sure.
say, this isn't working for me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I deserve to be in a relationship where I feel loved,
Right.
respected, and valued.
I can see how that would be a really difficult decision to make.
It can be.
But ultimately, it's a powerful act of self-love.
Exactly. And it's not about blaming the other person
Mm-hmm.
or playing the victim.
Right.
It's about taking responsibility for your own well-being and choosing to create space for something better to come into your life.
This is making me think about some past relationships where I probably stayed way too long,
Yeah.
hoping things would change.
Right.
But maybe walking away sooner would have been better.
Sometimes holding on
Yeah.
only causes more pain.
Yeah.
Walking away allows for healing and growth.
So this technique is about recognizing our worth and having the courage to create a life that reflects that.
Exactly. And you know what? Sometimes walking away can actually inspire respect from others.
Oh, really? How so?
Well, it shows that you're not willing to settle
Oh, okay.
for less than you deserve.
Right?
It demonstrates self-respect
Yeah.
and a deep understanding of your own needs.
It's like you're setting a standard.
Exactly. You're setting a standard for how you expect to be treated.
Okay. I'm starting to see the strength in this approach. It's
Yeah.
not about being cold or heartless.
Right.
It's about having the courage to choose yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And finally, we arrive at our 10th technique,
Okay, bring it on.
which is all about cultivating emotional balance.
Emotional balance, so like not letting my emotions get the best of me.
Precisely. It's about developing equanimity.
Equanimity?
That steady calmness and composure.
Oh, I need some of that.
Don't we all?
Yeah, especially my relationships.
Yeah, so how do we cultivate this kind of emotional resilience?
Well, the book talks about the importance of mindfulness. Mindfulness, so like meditation and being present.
Exactly. It's about being present with your emotions, acknowledging them without judgment, and allowing them to pass through you.
Without like taking over.
Without dictating your actions.
Oh, so instead of immediately reacting to a situation,
right?
I should take a moment to pause and observe how I'm feeling.
Exactly. It's about creating that space between the stimulus and your response.
So I can choose how I want to react.
Exactly. You're choosing a more skillful way of being.
I like that it's about responding instead of reacting.
But I know it's not always easy.
No, it's not, because sometimes my emotions feel so big and overwhelming.
Do they feel like they're going to take over?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So how do I stop that from happening?
Think of it this way.
Okay.
Your emotions are like waves in the ocean. Sometimes they're big and powerful. Other times they're calm and gentle.
Right.
But the ocean itself, the vastness beneath the waves, remains constant.
Okay, I'm visualizing that.
So you want to become more like the ocean.
So I'm the ocean.
Able to withstand those waves.
Okay.
Without being swept away by them.
And that's where mindfulness comes in.
Exactly. Practices like meditation can help you train your mind. To become more aware of your thoughts and emotions.
So I can observe them without getting caught up in the drama.
Exactly. It's like you're developing an inner observer.
An inner observer.
That wise and compassionate part of yourself that can witness your experience without judgment.
I like that.
And you know what? When you're able to stay emotionally balanced, it creates a sense of safety and stability in your relationships.
Really? How so?
Well, people feel more comfortable being vulnerable with you. Sharing their fears and insecurities.
They know I'm not going to freak out.
Exactly. They feel safe, knowing that you're a steady and reliable presence.
Someone who can handle the ups and downs.
Without losing their cool.
I never realized how powerful that could be.
It's huge.
It's like it builds trust.
It does.
It's here.
And it makes you incredibly attractive.
It does.
Because it exudes a sense of peace. Confidence and wisdom.
It's like you're saying, I'm not easily rattled.
Right.
I can handle whatever life throws my way.
And that's the kind of person everyone wants to be around.
Yeah, I would want to be friends with that person.
Right.
So emotional balance is like a superpower.
It is. It's a superpower, and it's not about suppressing your emotions.
Okay, good, because I was going to ask about that.
It's not about pretending to be someone you're not.
Right. I don't have to be a robot.
Exactly. It's about learning to be with your emotions in a healthy way. To acknowledge them without letting them control you.
So it's a skill.
It is. It's a skill that you can develop over time.
It's like learning to ride a bike.
Exactly. At first, it might feel wobbly, but with practice, you gain more balance and control.
Okay, I like that analogy.
So don't get discouraged if you don't master it overnight.
Right, it takes time.
It takes time and practice.
Okay, well, I'm feeling inspired to start working on my emotional balance.
That's great to hear. And you know what?
What's that?
It's not just going to benefit your relationships.
Yeah.
It's going to enhance your overall well-being.
I can see that.
It's like you're becoming the best version of yourself.
And that's what it's all about, right?
Exactly.
Wow, we covered so much ground today.
I know. It's been quite a journey.
These 10 techniques are like a whole new roadmap.
A roadmap to love and respect.
It's like we're rewriting the rules of the game.
Yeah, and remember, this is just the beginning.
Okay.
The real transformation happens when we start incorporating these techniques into our daily lives.
So it's not just about listening to this deep dive, it's about putting it into practice.
Exactly. Experiment with them, observe the shifts that occur.
Well, we made it.
We did.
We've explored all 10 techniques.
10 techniques for love and respect.
From reverse psychology sprinkled with a little Buddhist wisdom.
I'm feeling enlightened already.
Me too. And you know, I think the biggest takeaway for me is...
What's that?
That it's not about manipulating people.
Right.
It's about transforming yourself.
Becoming the best version of yourself.
Yes, and when you do that, love and respect just naturally follow.
It's like you become a magnet.
Yes, you attract the right people into your life.
The people who are meant to be there.
Exactly. So before we wrap up,
let's
just recap what we've learned.
Okay, sounds good.
So we started with the idea of letting go.
Embracing impermanence.
Right. Remembering that nothing lasts forever.
And that can actually make you more attractive.
Because it shows that you're not clinging.
You're not needy.
Exactly. You're not desperate.
You're living a full life.
Yes. And then we talked about the allure of mystery.
Ooh, yes.
Revealing yourself gradually.
Like peeling back the layers of an onion.
Exactly. Keeping people intrigued.
Makes sense.
And then there's the power of investment.
Encouraging others to contribute.
Right. It's not all about you doing all the work.
It's about sharing the responsibility.
Exactly. And of course, we can't forget about self-care.
The foundation of it all.
Yes. You can't pour from an empty cup.
Fill your own cup first.
And then you can give to others.
It's not selfish, it's essential.
And then we explored the magnetism of independence.
Being your own person.
Having your own passion.
Your own life outside of the relationship.
Exactly, because you're not looking for someone to complete you.
You're already complete.
And then there's reciprocity and initiation.
Allowing others to pursue you.
Right. It's not always about you making the first move.
It's about finding that balance.
And then we talked about cultivating happiness from within.
Finding that inner sunshine.
Because happiness is a choice.
It's not something that just happens to you.
And when you're happy, you radiate that energy.
And it attracts people to you.
Then we got a little bit tough.
We did.
With the strength to walk away.
Sometimes you have to let go.
Yes, knowing when a relationship is no longer serving you.
And having the courage to walk away.
It's not easy.
But so empowering.
And finally, we talked about the importance of emotional balance.
Finding that inner peace.
Learning to ride the waves of your emotions.
Without getting swept away.
Exactly, because emotional stability is a superpower.
It really is.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
okay,
I want to leave you with this question.
I'm listening.
Which of these techniques resonated with you the most?
That's a good question.
And how can you start incorporating it into your life today?
Yeah, even if it's just a small step.
Because even small changes can make a big difference.
They can ripple out.
Exactly. So keep exploring.
Keep learning.
And keep growing.
And remember.
What's that?
You are worthy of love and respect.
Just as you are.
Exactly.
All right, that's it for this deep dive.
Until next time.
Thanks for listening.